Here we have a book in Teleplay. And then what you can do is you can take your book. I'm not gonna let the zombies take that book because I need it to survive. So I'm making this video for Ken, who is asking to, or who's gonna use Teleplay to promote books. So I'm using this as an example to, I'm using this as an example so that you can make an amazing video for any book within Teleplay. So here are the steps I would use, not just for this particular scene in book, but for anything. So let me get started. So the first thing you want to do is have a good physical setup. So we have the green blanket on a wall and we're lighting it with two 100-watt LED daylight bulbs so that the green screen on the wall is nice and evenly lit. Okay? And then what I would do is I would get your book, get a base for the book, like a kind of like a simple neutral base like this for the book, and then put it like maybe at least 10 inches away from the green screen, and then light your book separately from your green screen, so that way your book has like one, two, three lights hitting it. You may get away with 1 or 2 lights depending on how reflective your base is. Okay, so but I would, I'd maybe get 3 lights. If you don't have that many, you may easily get away with 2 lights as well. And that's it for the physical setup. Now let's get started. Let's do the calibration process. Okay. So let's remove these zombies. Okay. So what I would do once your physical setup looks kind of like this, a little bit cleaner than mine, but like this. Next thing you want to do, go to the gear icon. Okay, go to the gear icon. Make sure to enter the email address you used to purchase the kit. That'll unlock all of the paid content right here. Then you want to click green screen, click on calibrate. Here, I'm going to reset this because I already did it. Then you just want to point this at the green screen. Make sure that your product is not actually in there. Then click on calibrate. Okay, and I already have a background there, which shows up immediately after I click calibrate. But when you do it for the first time, it's not gonna, no background's gonna be there. So right after you click on calibrate, make sure your SPO suppression is enabled. That will remove all the ugly green glare. Here, SPO suppression. See how SPO suppression removes all of that ugly green glare? Makes it look a lot more natural. Okay, so after you do the calibration, then you download a background. When you're doing a scene like this, I think you may want to just do something kind of very neutral and bland to keep your attention on the book. So for this scene, I'm just kind of browsing. I went to AI generated backgrounds, and I was looking for something which kind of gave me like a very obviously like an ominous glow type feel to it. And that's why I did one of these AI generated backgrounds. And you can keep in mind, you can also do your own background. Just click on your photo video and you can do any photo or video that's on your device. What if we do this one instead of what we have? Oh. Okay, that can kind of work. Maybe like a little bit too much going on, but let's see. Let's put the book back in. Okay. I kind of like it. Okay, so now once you selected a background that's kind of like doesn't take away too much attention away from the book, like this. Next is to select the foreground. Now I think most books come in like I think books oftentimes have a mystery theme, a romance theme, a spy theme, or an action theme. So I think the next step is to simply select a foreground which matches one of these 4 themes. I know there are many more themes, but to keep it simple, let's just focus on these ones. So mystery, romance, spy, and action. So mystery, like obviously for this zombie one, the action foreground effects are within action characters. Then you have action foreground effects within vehicles, fire, explosions. That's where all your action effects are. If you want to do some sci-fi type of effects, check out the upper portion of the foreground effects, like magic, smoke, and fire, spell beams. Let's do one of these. There's a lot you can do. So yeah, the sci-fi effects are right there. So we got spy and action effects. Now let's check out the romance and mystery effects. So for romance, obviously in the love foreground category, like something like Rose 3, for example. Obviously this makes no sense with this particular scene, but you catch my drift, right? And now the spy foreground category. Spy, like what? Like I haven't thought a lot about what spying maybe. Spy kind of relates to mystery. Let me quickly go. Like I'm gonna show you my process. Okay, spy books. Okay, Tom Clancy. You have you can have okay. So I'm just showing you my process. So maybe something like a helicopter, for example, like a James Bond type feel. Oh, that even works really well for this scene too. Okay. So for the spy theme, I think something like in the vehicles section can work well. Kind of gives you like a James Bond type feel. Okay, so I think that's enough. So the key thing, let me summarize for you, Ken. So the key thing is number one, set up your green screen. Set up your physical setup like this. Calibrate your green screen or press the reset button, which I showed you. Then put your book on a base like this. And that allows you to kind of either turn it like that or to simply remove the book, give you some video motion in your scenes. Then select the background, which doesn't really distract from the book, and then select the foreground to match the theme of your book and the corresponding background within the foreground effects. So, yep, that's it. This is my tutorial on how to create an amazing scene for your book in Teleplay. I think the key thing is just put your book on a base like this, and then everything becomes super easy. And that's it. I'm here for you if you have any questions.